Okay, if you clicked on this video, you kind of know what's going on. You are being haunted by a ghost, and that ghost is your own past identity. You're trying to survive and grow in this market, but you're still operating with the software of an employee. You're waiting for directions. You are waiting for someone to give you a syllabus, a course, a book, a crash course. You're hoping for a boss that no longer exists. You're hoping that this person is going to pat you on the back and say, "Good job," and to approve of your work. I see this consistently with many of my friends who are in the education sector. They're teachers. When you exist in this sector, in this world, your entire survival depends on being palatable, on being acceptable. You have to be politically correct all the time. You can't say anything that's polarizing. You always have to say the safe thing. You have to be so accommodating to everything around you. You know, I watch them take massive intrusions into their own personal time, and they have to do it with a smile. Can you believe that? I think you do. They constantly bow to other people's agendas, and when I watch them do that, I just think, screw that. No way. No way I'm going to put up with that. You see, in the traditional workplace, it doesn't have to be in the education sector. It could be anywhere else. If someone has a senior title, much higher than yours, you have to listen. If they are your manager, even better, you have to nod, you have to smile. You have to pretend like the instructions they give you is an honor. You have to pretend like it's an honor to you. You have to say, yes, sir, 3 bags full. Okay, maybe that works in this world. But if you bring this subservient mindset into trading, you are going to get eaten alive. There is no room for any of that BS. If you still have that ingrained need to follow a manager, to follow a boss, you are going to project it onto fake trading gurus because they will be your only thing. They will be the only things to follow at the start of your journey, or maybe you're in the middle of it. You, with that old mindset, you're going to start praying to guys on the internet shoving their rented Lamborghinis and their rented apartments in your face. They're going to spend 10 out of 10 minutes of a YouTube video showing you how amazing the car is. They're going to show you around the apartment just to shove it in your face. And they are going to speak to you with unearned authority because they haven't even spoken about anything to do with trading, right? They're going to speak with unearned authority. And because of that, what? You're just going to lap it all up. You're just going to take it. Just because the rest of the retail crowd is acting like a bunch of dumbasses, it doesn't mean you need to be one. Yo, wake up. You have to be discerning. You have to get real. Cut through the smoke. You no longer need to pray to fake trading gods. You are your own man now. Because this market, it doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're obedient. It doesn't care if you're nice. It doesn't care if you are palatable. The market doesn't reward political correctness. This is not about saying something just so that everyone feels good. If you have an opinion, you need to say it and you need to stick to it. And sometimes you have to do it in silence. The market doesn't care about how well liked you are amongst your peers or if the students like you. The market doesn't care. So right now you're facing a problem. The problem is you refuse to let your old identity go away. You suffer from a psychological sunk cost fallacy. You know, you spent a decade being this good person, this nice guy. You spent years being so nice to everyone. It feels safe. It feels good. Sometimes they say thank you. But that comfort is a cage. It's going to create chronic decision fatigue. Every time you need to execute a trade, what are you going to do? Go onto the Discord forum and ask if people think it's a good idea? You see what I mean? Okay. And then you're going to ask, what if we are wrong? What if I'm wrong about the trade? Will my manager scold me? What will my boss think of me? That's going to run at the back of your head. You are letting this dead version of yourself that's no longer useful for this mission dictate your future. And you're going to face some obstacles when you try to get rid of this old identity. The moment you try to kill this ghost, the people around you, they are going to push back. Your friends and family will suddenly say, you seem different. You seem a little bit less nice than usual. They will try to drag you back to who you were. That's because they benefit from you staying in your old predictable self. They liked the nice guy. They liked the subordinate version of you. Who doesn't like a subordinate? I love a subordinate. Why would I want my subordinate to suddenly become so sure of himself and so real? No. They want you back in the matrix. You have to set absolute boundaries against anyone who tries to resurrect the person you're trying to destroy. So in conclusion, stop being a subordinate. You want to be a subordinate, go back to the office. To be a trader, you must be entirely self-directed. You're not going to get any praise. You're not going to get any approval. You're not going to get any pats on the back. I can assure you that. The only one who's going to give you a pat on the back is either your bank account or your trading statement. That's it. That's it. You are going to have to embrace social backlash. You have to let this polite, meek, obedient version of yourself fade away. The clarity and the energy you feel when you finally drop this burden that you have been holding on for so long, is exactly what you need to execute your edge.